coming up here on All Angles in the next few minutes. The debate over ivermectin rages on. We discuss its use with a genetics expert in the next few minutes. And in fact,
a mass vaccination site works, and I'm really pleased that the Department of Health and indeed the IMC on vaccinations decided that we should start establishing these mass vaccination sites because they work very well. And I'm also pleased that there's been quite a bit of innovation. The Premier informed me that they are establishing, and the Minister also endorsed that, a number of drive-through sites where many more and more people are now getting vaccinated. And the objective of coming here was also to encourage South Africans to come forward and to be vaccinated. We've now lowered the age group, and we want as many of that age group who are eligible to come through and vaccinate. They can make the appointments through the system that we've established, or they can also just come and walk through. Now, this center can take up to 4,000 people a day. They've established very good points where people can wait, and they tell me that the waiting period is no more than 30 minutes. So that is good for either working people, but the other good thing, of course, is that they are also vaccinating over weekends. So the vaccination process has now been turbocharged, is now going forward at a more appreciable rate. The Minister tells me, Minister Kubai tells me that they are going to exceed the limit I've given them. But little does she know that once they hit that limit, I'm going to up it again. So they must keep raising the number of people who should be vaccinated. So it's been a good day at the office to come and visit Tembisa and here at Gallagher State as well.
Mr. President, we'll start with Hajra.
That's right.
Okay, so Mr. President, I agree with the site, it's amazing, and they also take non-medical age people here, which I thought was very nice. I have a question for you on the national interest. The national interest.
Yes.
So I fully understand that process is very important.
Yes.
And we like process, and we know where we come from state capture, so process should not be overlooked. But we have had a vacancy in the presidency. We do have a vacancy in the health department. And even if we for a moment forget that some of us were sleeping while an insurgency was being planned, surely there's a need for a reshuffle urgently.
Well, you spoke about process, Hajra. It is a process that is underway. We do have a vacancy that I'm paying attention to, and that is going to be addressed soon as possible. So I know that everyone in the media and everyone in the country are talking about this thing they call, what do they call it? A reshuffle. So I have said that clearly the deployment of people in various positions in government is a matter that occupies the mind and attention of a president at all times. And that is what I am applying my mind to. And I know there's a lot of anxiety, impatience, excitement, and it is a matter that is under consideration. And all I would say is that watch this space. That's all I would say.
Griselda.
Mr. President, Griselda Lewis from SABC Television News. I understand that you told my colleagues in Tembisa that you were studying the SIU report which you received. When are we likely to have some word from you on this report? And secondly, Mr. President, are you concerned at all that while all of this takes place, yes, there was some unrest in the country, are you concerned at all about the mixed messages that are coming from your cabinet ministers on exactly what happened? Because it really sends the country to not understand what's happening. You had the State Security Minister basically say she gave a report to the Minister of Police. The Minister of Police says that did not happen. Then you also had the issue relating to the Defence Minister, Cyril Ramaphosa.
Well, let me say, Hajra, the first question you raised about the vacancy and all those places where there are vacancies, bar one, were filled with acting ministers. And they are doing an excellent job. Much as it's a little bit of overload, I accept that, but they're doing an excellent job holding the position. And the issue of mixed messages was well addressed by acting minister in the presidency, Nchaveni. She addressed that, and I've also addressed it. It has died out, and we basically said, let's stop the squabbling in public. Obviously, it was driven by their own understanding and explanation, but as a government, we've got to be coherent, we've got to have a single message, and that has been sent out very clearly. So from now on, you will see coherence in government in terms of the messages. With regards to the report, yes, I did say, and I repeat again, the report is with me. There are a few issues that needs to be completed, and once all that has been done, I will come out and explain to the nation exactly how I am going to deal with that report. So I know there's impatience, but it's not a matter that I'm going to sit on forever and in a day. So it will come out and we will be able to explain.
Our last question,
Usipamandla Boke from ENCA, Mr. President. Let me follow up on this question. Are you done though reading that Digital Vibes report? Are you done reading it, the report? Are you done? Number two, your spokesperson has been on leave for more than a year now. How far are the internal processes with Kusela Digo? Is she still your spokesperson? But number three, you have said you want to see 300,000 vaccinations a day. That target is not happening. The country's targets are not being met. How are you going to deal with that? Number four, the side issue, there are calls for a commission of inquiry into the killings in Phoenix. What is your comment on that one? On your security cluster, how come no one has been fired for the unrest when you have considered that your ministers were caught napping?
That is 6 questions. Yeah. My God, you really work for your bonus, don't you? Well, if I remember them all. On the Phoenix matter, I mean, that is being examined. We are obviously very worried about what happened in Phoenix. It has evoked a lot of feelings on all sides, and people's lives were lost. There's a deep, deep hurt that many people feel in Phoenix, and we empathize with them because some of the incidents that took place in Phoenix are simply what we don't want to have in our country, where there was a measure of vigilantism and targeting of people. And so I also pay my condolences to the people who lost their loved ones. And we are attending to the Phoenix matter at a political level as well as at a security and criminal justice matter. So the Phoenix matter remains front of mind, and we want to examine it in all its aspects to see precisely what type of way forward we chart. With regards to the report, have I finished reading the report? Yes, I have. There are certain aspects that need to be completed, and once those are completed, as I said earlier, I will be able to come out and give my view on it. The vaccination numbers, please be positive for once. The numbers of vaccinations are going up. And the minister standing next to me here tells me that, President, we're going to hit your number, 300,000, and we are even going to exceed it. So this is happening throughout the country as the process of vaccination is now under. We are really in full steam when it comes to vaccinations. They had a target of 250,000, and I gave them a stretch target of 300. So I think we are doing very well. We now have a good surplus of vaccines, and what I saw here and what I saw in Tembisa is really fantastic. Great work is being done here in Gauteng and a number of other places. And as I said earlier, the innovative ideas that are coming to the fore in relation to vaccinating people, the drive-thrus, and now they are also going to do mobile vaccinations, where like the mobile vehicles will go to where the people are. Because one of the complaints has been that a number of our people have to spend money to travel to the vaccination centers. And I've said that I want the vaccination points and centers to go to where our people are. So that is happening. And as it is now, we are all learning and getting better with this process. This is a new process to all of us, remember? I did say at the beginning that this is the biggest process or campaign we've ever had in the history of this country to vaccinate so many people all at one go. Now, you asked too many questions.
About Kusela, your spokesperson.
Oh, yeah, no. Ms. Diko's matter is being handled and finalized within the presidency, so that is under consideration. She has taken leave, and I have an acting spokesperson here, in case you don't know him. Here he is in front of you. So
your security cluster ministers.
Security cluster minister, we did admit that we were ill prepared for what happened. The mayhem that broke out, the security cluster was ill prepared. We've conceded that. We are looking at exactly how it all happened, and obviously I'm also evaluating everything else, and it's best to leave it there.
Mr. President?
President Cyril Ramaphosa basically answering some of the questions but not giving much away.